We've been talking about the Butcher being searched after this first controversy came up.
In the corner right now, manager extraordinaire Gary Hart presents, weighing in at 481 pounds from the Sudan, Abdullah the Butcher.
David hasn't found anything, but he's not through yet. Abdullah the Butcher being searched. Fans want Gary Hart to be searched too. Now Gary says, come on. David Manning has asked Stan Holbater to get out of the ring. That's good advice.
Brody, you got your policeman. I don't care. The black is ready, brother. We're going to destroy you tonight.
There's that confident, bold, outspoken Gary Hart of late on the house mic. An unprecedented situation in all the years of Fort Worth TV.
Momentarily making his way to the ring, weighing in at 300 pounds from New Mexico, Bruiser Brody.
All right, Brody, I guess on his way, like I said, never.
Your special referee is Mr. David Manning.
In all the years of television here, wrestling on Channel 11, we've never had a situation like this where the action just went from one thing to another. Here we go, ring the bell. Bruiser Brody and Abdullah the Butcher are underway in front of a mob at Will Rogers Coliseum. Headbutt by the big man from the Sudan. Big kicks by Bruiser Brody. Listen to this crowd. Many of the ringside fans come to their feet. The balcony stands. Abdullah the Butcher goes down. Brody from the ropes with a stomp. David Manning, the special referee in his street clothes, since this bout had to be brought in an hour early after they were on the verge of getting into it in the locker room area. Abdullah the Butcher already is bleeding from the top of the head. The Butcher out here on the apron. Gary Hart right there yelling at Brody and David Manning. Hart complaining about something being in the boot of Bruiser Brody. Has professional wrestling, has world class, or anybody ever seen this kind of feud, which has broken loose during July and August here? Abdullah falls to the table. Here comes Brody. He's looking for something. He's got the house mic in his hand. David Manning wants to get it away from him. You might hear this one. The Butcher's grabbing something while David Manning wrestles with Brody over the mic. He's got something and he jabs the head. And this crowd sees it. David did not, because he was trying to get the house mic away from Bruiser Brody. And this is something we have not seen from the Butcher, an object about 8 inches long and is white. Gary Hart throws his blazer away. Look out. Put on the disclaimers for the children. Here's Gary Hart with blood on his shirt up on the apron. Gary Hart says, search me if you think he's got something. He's still denying that the Butcher's got anything. There's David over with Gary. Look out. Oh, no. Oh, this is an angry crowd in Fort Worth. David Manning trying to count Abdullah the Butcher off while Gary Hart watches from the near side. David Manning had better be careful himself. Abdullah. Oh my goodness. This is frightening. Gary Hart up there, look at him on the left side. I think, in my opinion, that he is deliberately distracting David Manning so that the Butcher can do that. Remember, David Manning and World Class are on the verge of suspending the Butcher permanently, and Gary Hart might just go with him. Now the Butcher's put away the object. He's using the more conventional headbutts on Bruiser Brody against the near side rope. Oh, this is an angry crowd. Abdullah, the blood running from the top of his head, smashing the head of Bruiser Brody. Listen to this huge crowd in Fort Worth chanting, Bruiser, Bruiser. Manning trying to pull him off. He wants Gary Hart to do something. Look how the Butcher uses the body to screen out David Manning. David's in a helpless position. David's trying to climb the ropes to get around there and see what that is. Give David Manning credit. Bruiser's face is something that I don't want to talk about. What a mess. Bruiser fighting back. What an interview Bruiser Brody had in 15 years. He said he's never had the punishment dealt to him like he has with Abdullah.
5 minutes gone in the match.
5 minutes have gone by, and just in that 5 minutes, each man begins to stagger somewhat under the awesome intensity of this world-class main event. Gary Hart playing innocent, at times distracting the referee. Abdullah goes down. The crowd loves it. But hold on, both men are somewhat weakened. I don't know what Gary Hart just told Abdullah. Abdullah's out on the floor now. Bruiser Brody has gotten a chair. Here they come. Bruiser's got a chair over the head. Abdullah got his hands up, but I don't know if that did any good. Now they're going out into the crowd. There come the lights. Jim Line, have we got a microphone back on the interview set? Okay, I'm going to head back that way. You won't hear from me for a few minutes, but I'll be on that mic in a moment. Now what has happened? Evidently, Bruiser and Abdullah are in it, back behind this door someplace. They're back in here in this area. Gary's keeping David Manning out, standing in front of the door, and the Butcher comes out. Oh no, Bruiser has got some sort of 2x4. When Abdullah came out, evidently Brody had nailed him. Abdullah came into that big wooden door, and that smashed Gary Hart from behind. No telling what happened back there. Here they go again. I will watch this from the TV truck. Abdullah heading back for the ring. I'm watching this on the monitor back here with the truck. Last week I had to crawl up on top. They've got that 2x4. I can't get over Gary Hart standing in front of that door, keeping Manning out. I don't know what they were doing, but Brody evidently really laid one on to the Butcher because he came into that door and put Gary Hart down hard. Bruiser with that long 2x4 in the ring. He's now choking Abdullah the Butcher. While you watch this, I will run back to ringside. What a mess this is. Bruiser Brody on the Butcher. Gary Hart has got a chair. Manning trying to get that board out of the throat. There's a chair on the back of Bruiser Brody by Gary Hart, and David Manning cannot solve this himself. Gary Hart choking and smashing the chair into the throat of Bruiser Brody. 5,000 fans are standing, the lights are on.
We need wrestlers from the back. We need help from the back. Any wrestlers available, we need them to the ringside immediately.
David Manning and Stan Hovada make the announcement. Abdullah the Butcher now has the board. He's trying to hit Manning with it as he smashes it over the head of Bruiser Brody. I hear the crowd cheering. Here comes somebody, evidently. Who is this? It's the Batten twins. Look out, Gary Hart's even involved. I don't believe Gary Hart making things worse. Here's Brody to the floor. Did you see Gary Hart? I'm aghast. The lives of these men in danger, and Gary Hart does nothing but make it worse. Bruiser Brody out on the floor. Abdullah with the blood running still has the board. The fans here are astonished at what we are seeing.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee David Manning has rendered the decision. Both wrestlers are disqualified. The match is out of control.
I am exhausted. Absolutely exhausted as you see Abdullah the Butcher. The sporting world and professional wrestling has never seen the likes of this. The most unprecedented circumstances surrounding any event or any issue. And Gary Hart, ladies and gentlemen, has made this situation even worse than it had to be. Now he wants the mic.
Let me tell you something. You reprimand me. You searched him. He was clean. Brody bought it. You and your alliance can't see a cold day. Will you go get me?
Gary Hart claiming innocence through it all. I guess we really shouldn't be surprised. You know, Abdullah was searched and they didn't find it, but he obviously used it. We saw it here on television. What a mess. They went to the back of the building. Whatever happened back behind that big barricade must have been awful. Then Brody evidently got up and hit the Butcher so hard that he flew into that door that Gary Hart was guarding and knocked Gary down. We're going to get out of here and come back. We're way behind on commercials. I'm Mark Lansing, exhausted in the ring.